Each time it got worse and worse. I was there by myself. What was I supposed to do? I was just walking. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I was kind of scared. And then I feel somebody punch me and I looked like I was in a fight. Well, I was. Hey guys, it's Sonya. Today's video is going to be a bit different from what I usually do. I'm going to be talking about bullying in school and my personal experience with it. So I decided to do this video because I found that a lot of you guys could probably relate to this and that a lot of you are going through it right now, and I kind of decided to speak out about it. And I know some people don't want to do it because, you know, you get emotional, it kind of takes you back to those times, but today I'm doing it. It all started fall 2017 when I first experienced it. It was just a normal school. It was a regular class. I had a lot of nice friends. I was doing pretty good at school, just living my normal life. But then one day things gone the wrong way. But before I get into all of that and my story, I want to tell you guys something else and basically talk about it for a bit. I'm pretty sure most of us experienced bullying in school, and it's a pretty common thing nowadays. I think it's most common to start from 5th grade. I mean, in some cases it could be earlier, but then 5th grade and up, that's where it gets really bad, especially in high school, but that doesn't mean you should get scared. And somewhere over here you guys will see the map where students actually reported bullying and the bullying cases. And when I first started to search it up and look at those numbers, I was shocked because that's honestly a lot. And that's another reason you shouldn't be silent. You should always try to speak up about it and find people that will help you or talk to someone about it. I saw people that got bullied and I always try to help them, because if someone can't stand up for themselves, I try to stand up for them and help them as much as I can, if that's possible in the situation that they're in right now. I think that's how it's supposed to be. If you see somebody that's weaker or that needs help, you should always try standing up for them. Imagine yourself in that situation and how you would feel, because I wouldn't want somebody to come up and help me. And I think that you should always try to do that and try your best to do that. I always tell that to people. Now, I'm a person that can stand up for myself. I don't really need any help with that, but that doesn't mean I didn't get bullied. You know, I saw from both sides, other people being the victim and me also being one, which I'm gonna get into a bit later. But when somebody is being a victim, I help and I try to fix the situation and really save them from what they're in right now. But if I am there, I can stand up for myself. At first, I didn't really seem to notice it, but then when one joke passes by, a cruel one, another one, just they say some mean words, you kind of start thinking oh, what's going on? And then it eventually turns into bullying and serious bullying, and then it could get even worse. But before all that, you kind of start to question yourself. Did I do something wrong? Is there anything wrong with me? When in reality, they're just pressuring you to think that way. Personally, in my school, I saw 3 girls. They were crowding another girl when I was walking in a hallway, and I remember she was sitting on the floor and they were just kind of crowding her and telling her something, and she clearly wasn't happy. And from what I heard, those girls were shaming her and telling her things that no girl would probably want to hear. They said some rude things, not gonna lie. Even I would get offended hearing that, and I could see her really doubting herself and asking her, oh, is there really something wrong with me? And there wasn't. She was a perfectly fine girl and she was really nice, I can tell. But then she was just kind of sitting there and questioning what did she do wrong and why is she even there. And I obviously couldn't walk by, so I stopped by and the girl looked at me like I was another bully, and then I can imagine that she thought of the worst possible cases. But no, I was there to help her, little did she know. The other 3 girls were like, oh, who is this? And they weren't happy when I came there because they knew I wasn't going to bully her with them, and I'm not one of their friends. And I honestly didn't care what they were thinking at that point. I just knew I needed to help that girl. So I first came up and asked them what they were doing, and I wasn't honestly expecting to get a nice answer, obviously, from the bullies. So they were just kind of, you know, giving me their attitude, which was predictable at the moment. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna get anywhere there with this. So I just helped the girl, I picked her up, and then I kind of pushed the bullies away, and then I took the girl with me, and it was around lunchtime, so we went to the cafeteria, and on the way there I just kind of asked her what happened, and then she told me that they were like onto her for a really long time now and she doesn't know what to do, and I really felt bad for her. She told me how she was really upset and sad, and I really was happy at the moment that I helped her. So we went to the cafeteria and I met her with my friends, which were obviously nice friends, not the bullies. And I could tell she was really happy, and then we ate lunch together, we talked, and she really was happier. She was a normal person. And I talked to those bullies. I kind of told the teachers to keep an eye on them, and they ended up not bothering her anymore, and I really felt so happy that I helped her and I ended up making a difference and that I solved a problem. That was a really nice moment. But sometimes telling the teacher is not an option, or the principal, because they can't really do anything about it. It really depends on the kids and the bullies themselves. Like, you can't change their minds. If a person is bad, you can't turn them into a good one. I mean, you can, but in some cases that's not possible. But anyways, and in any cases, you still have to talk to somebody, either your mom, family, relatives, friends, or any hotline out there. I know there's a lot of services right now on the internet. Just someone that you can talk to, or your close friend, and really figure it out, you know, lay things out in your head so you won't feel that pressured. And from that moment on, every time I saw someone getting bullied, I always try to help them, and in most cases they were successful and they were really thankful, and I was really happy. Everything ended well. I'm pretty sure all the bullies in school knew me and knew not to come close to me because I would always kind of, you know, protect the other ones, but they weren't that scared of me because they still got to me. So now let's get back to my personal story. Let's start from the beginning. I was just a normal average girl in my school. You know, I had pretty good grades, I was doing good, I have some friends, and living my normal peaceful life. No one was bothering me or anything. But then there was this one girl and a group of other girls that didn't really talk to me, or none of my friends, or pretty much nobody at school. Let's just say her name was Samantha. So basically, she and those group of friends, they would always kind of come by me and tell some rude things, and then, you know, each time it got worse and worse. First, it started out as a kind of a joke, well, a rude joke, and then it turned into like really, really rude and disrespectful jokes. Well, they weren't even jokes because they weren't funny anymore. I am not a person that gets offended easily, but that still like got me to question myself. Oh, am I doing anything the right way? Even, you know, any person that's strong and confident and not sensitive, if people pressure them over time, they would still start to question themselves. So that's what I did, and I was not really comfortable with anything at that point. I was not really happy to be in that class anymore, and every time they walked past me, like without even saying anything, I would just, you know, try to avoid them as much as possible. I wasn't going to tell the teacher or anything, because what was I supposed to tell her? Oh, they were just telling me rude jokes. What would the teacher do about it? She would probably tell them to stop, but you know, they don't stop at that point. We all knew that group wasn't the most pleasant group of friends out there, so we all avoided them. But one day, I was by myself, and my friends were doing their thing somewhere, and I was by myself in the hallway, and the hallway was pretty empty, and I was just like, you know, packing my books and getting them out of the locker and putting them in my bag, getting ready to go home on the bus, because I was taking a bus at that point. And you won't believe who I saw there. All those 4 girls, Samantha and all the other 3 ones, coming up to me, and I was like, oh no, oh crap, they're coming. And I was there by myself. What was I supposed to do? And they were coming up to me, and I'm like, okay, I imagined all the worst case scenarios. I just grabbed my backpack, I was speeding up to the exit, and then they kind of stopped me. They walked around me and blocked the exit way, and that's when it started. There wasn't really a way for me to kind of get out, I guess. They were just crowding me, and they were saying, oh, well, you're heading home, huh? And I was like, yeah, so? And that's when they first started to offend me, get to little things such as my back, my clothes, my books, my hairstyle, how I was looking at that point. That was their first day of like offending me. and getting me in that state where I was upset. That's what they were trying to reach for, but it didn't stop there. They were pressuring me, and they told me if I tell somebody or the teachers, that means like they would just, do horrible things and a lot of other things. So I wasn't really able to tell anybody, and they told me to come to the bus with them. And at our bus, nobody used to sit in the back, and the bus that we were taking was also kind of empty, and all the students were just kind of in the front talking to the bus driver. So when we went to the bus, on the way there, we were just all silent. I was just walking. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I was kind of scared. We got up on the bus, and then we sat there in the back, and I didn't know what they were going to do. Like, I had so many things running through my head, like, what are they gonna do? And 3 of them sat on the other side, like on the other side of the bus, and 2 of us sat over here like together in one seat. And I was like, okay, I'm sitting with the bully, what's now? 3 of them took out their phones, and I was like, okay, where is this going? And I was just sitting there. I was ignoring her. I didn't really want to look at her, so I turned my head to the window, looking out the window, pretending things are fine. And then I feel somebody punch me, and like, I was just shook at first. I was like, what? That was so sudden and so quick, and things happened so fast that I didn't even have time to realize what was happening. And when I turned my head, this girl was already hitting me and like attacking me, like, oh crap. A quick backstory, I knew how to defend myself. I had a few lessons, plus I was playing tennis professionally, and we always like practice, and go to the gym often. I would say it helped me. So I ended up fighting back because I had no other option. I couldn't yell to the bus driver like help or something, and all the other kids were in the front, so it was just nobody. It was just me, that girl, and other 3 girls who were just pointless, that they were recording that on their phones, and I couldn't do anything. So obviously I couldn't just sit there and get all beaten up. But I tried to defend myself, and I tried not to hit her as much, but then I ended up somehow, it all ended up being all messy and stuff. But once I kind of pushed her aside, not in the nicest way, and I was walking towards the bus driver, and we were all driving, so can you imagine how hard that was? And all the people just started looking at me from the front of the bus. They kind of started realizing what was happening, and I was looking like a witch that just came out of the forest that time. I looked like I was in a fight. Well, I was. And then the bus driver looks at me, and then he stops the bus on the light, and then he starts yelling at the whole bus, and we were all shocked. And the bullies, I told him what was happening. He was yelling at them. He of course defended me, and I was moved in the front of the bus in a safe seat. And of course the bullies were trying to defend themselves too and put themselves in a nice way, but he didn't believe them, luckily. But I got home, and obviously this wasn't the best day of my life. I was just kind of sitting there realizing some things. It wasn't a really pleasant experience. Even though it wasn't something that bad, it was still like something shocking for me, and it did leave that kind of bad memory. I just kind of stopped thinking about it, and I thought that was time to move on. And then I talked with my parents about it, and we decided that it'll be the best for me to switch schools, and I was honestly happy to do that. Even though I had so much friends there, I still wanted to just forget about that and move on to a different school and start everything from the beginning. And that's how I ended up forgetting about that. So now you know that I was dealing with this too. Even for me, it took a good couple of years to really get the story out to people and tell it to my friends and other people, and especially over here talking to you guys in front of the camera. So guys, this is the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video helped you somehow, and I hope this video helped you realize that you're not the only one, and that there's always people that would try to help you, and just try to find someone that you can talk to. But anyways guys, I love you all so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!